Hello everyone, my name is Anjuman Bhamri. Today I'm going to start a new chapter of class 12 chemistry, that is electrochemistry. So as the name suggests, electrochemistry has to do something related to chemical reactions and electricity. So electrochemistry can be divided or is a relationship between chemical reaction and electricity. Now what is electricity? Electricity is the movement of electrons. Movement of electrons through a wire, bulb, battery, etc. So we can say that chemical reactions can have movement of electrons. Now by this we have got the very important point of the chapter, which is very important, that certain chemical reactions can create electricity. That means, in other words, there are certain chemical reactions which can have movement of electrons, and those movement of electrons will going to give us electricity. For example, certain oxidation reduction reactions. Now there are certain oxidation reduction reactions in which an element is willing to give electron and the other element at the same time is willing to take an electron. So this movement of electrons occur on its own. We don't have to do anything. For example, copper and zinc. Now zinc is willing to give electrons, and copper, which has a greater, stronger tendency to pull an electron, will going to take electrons from zinc automatically. So this movement of electron will going to create an electricity. Now there are certain oxidation reduction reactions in which this movement of electron is not possible. For example, there is an element which is not willing to give an electron and the other element is not willing to take up an electron. In that case, we have to use a battery which will going to help us to create that movement of electron, and that movement of electrons will going to create an electricity. So second important point of this chapter is electricity can make certain chemical reactions happen. मतलब electricity means I'm talking about there is, अगर electricity हम use करेंगे तो there are certain chemical reactions which will going to happen for us. Otherwise it is not possible. अगर हम battery use ना करें तो element will not going to give an electron. There will be no movement of electron. So those reactions will not be able to give an electricity to us. So electrochemistry का introduction, it's very easy. I guess समझ में आ गया होगा. These 2 points we will going to study. And once these 2 points are understood by you, then the entire chapter, the entire topic, the introduction part will be very, very clear to you. So in short, electrochemistry is the relationship between those chemical reactions which create movement of electrons, and by that we get electricity. I guess this is very much clear to you. Thank you. Now we will going to move on to the first part, that is certain chemical reactions can create electricity. For this we have already understood that oxidation reduction, या हम कह सकते हैं let's have like in oxidation reduction reactions, movement of electrons is possible. Electrons possible होगा, जैसे A element and B element. The A will be transferring electron towards B. So if we pass this electron through a medium, so electron movement show हो जाएगा, and when the movement of electron will be there, that means electricity can be generated. तो बहुत ही simple सी बात हो गई कि that means कि oxidation reduction reactions are those reactions in which movement of electron is possible. If that movement is being through a wire, that means the flow of electrons will be able to generate electricity. Now second part which we have understood before, after this, was electricity can make certain reaction, certain chemical reaction कर देते हैं, certain chemical reactions happen. अब क्या है इसमें, electricity can make certain chemical reactions happen. जैसे if I take C and I take D, Now C is not willing to give electrons to D and D is not willing to take an electron from C. तो यहाँ पर movement of electrons है ही नहीं, तो हम क्या करेंगे? What we will going to do? We will going to connect this through a battery. Now what battery will going to do? Battery will going to take electrons from C. By battery pull करेगा, it will going to pull electrons from C and will going to push those electrons towards D. That means if this battery, that means this electricity, this battery is making these electrons to flow. So now electricity can also be generated here. So these are two things which we have to understand. Now first we are going to take this certain chemical reactions can create electricity. तो हम इसको सबसे पहले पढ़ेंगे. इसमें you will going to understand Galvanic cell, voltaic cell, ये सब हम इसके बारे में पढ़ने वाले हैं. तो let's start with the topic that is certain chemical reactions can create electricity. तो इसमें मैंने अभी बोला भी कि we will going to study, we will going to understand about galvanic cell or voltaic cell. Fine. And voltaic cell. इसमें एक छोटा सा let's make a diagram in order to understand in a proper way. कि let's take this as zinc, this is zinc, and let's say this is copper. Copper ion is in the solution. We will going to understand in detail, but अभी हम सिर्फ overview पढ़ रहे हैं कि चीजें क्या होंगी. अब होगा क्या? यहाँ पर zinc will going to give electrons to copper ion. Now as zinc is giving electrons, zinc will going to become zinc 2 positive, and copper is gaining 2 electrons, it will become copper. करेक्ट है. अब यहाँ पर होगा क्या कि अब हमें दो टर्म याद रखने हैं which is very very important. First term is rig and second term is oil. Rig means reduction is gain in electron. That means कि gain in electrons is reduction and oil is lose in electron is oxidation. That is lose in electron is oxidation. So I guess it is very clear. You just need to remember these two terms, rig and oil. अब rig and oil से हमें पता लग जाएगा. अब मुझे ये सोच के बताओ कि भाई इन दोनों में से oxidized कौन हो रहा है और reduced कौन हो रहा है. तो I guess it is very easy. Zinc is losing electron is oil, that is oxidation. That means कि zinc is getting oxidized and copper is gaining electrons, so he is getting reduced. तो यहाँ पर ये oxidized हो रहा है, ये reduce हो रहा है. अब the question arises कि सर zinc इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज क्यों कर रहा है, कॉपर गेन क्यों कर रहा है, कॉपर लूज क्यों नहीं कर रहा और जिंक गेन क्यों नहीं कर रहा. तो भाई सिंपल सी बात याद रखने वाली यहाँ पर ये है कि कॉपर हैज स्ट्रॉन्गर pull for electrons, and what about zinc? Zinc has weaker pull for electrons. But zinc is having weaker pull towards electron and copper has stronger pull for electrons. अब मुद्दा यहाँ पर ये कि भाई how do I get to know कि which out of them will going to have a strong pull of electrons? So you have to understand, you have to go through the electrochemical series which is given in your book. So under that table, if you look at the table, जैसे जैसे आप ऊपर जाओगे, as you move up, the stronger pull for electrons will going to increase. तो जो उस इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल सीरीज में जो सबसे ऊपर एलिमेंट होगा उसका इलेक्ट्रॉन का पुल सबसे ज्यादा होगा. तो इफ यू विल चेक कि कॉपर और जिंक के बीच में कॉपर जिंक से ऊपर लिखा हुआ होगा, तो जो ऊपर होगा उसके पास इलेक्ट्रॉन को खींचने की पावर ज्यादा है. तो कॉपर आयन हैज स्ट्रॉन्गर पुल फॉर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स देन जिंक एज कॉपर इज हायर इन द इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल सीरीज. तो यहां से ये भी मुझे पता लग गया कि कौन रिड्यूस हो रहा है, कौन ऑक्सीडाइज हो रहा है. अब यहां पर क्या हो रहा होगा, मैं फिर से बोल रहा हूं, इसको बहुत डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे, बट दिस इज जस्ट एन ओवरव्यू. तो होगा क्या भाई, यहाँ पर एक हम यहाँ पर एक बल्ब लगा देते हैं ताकि हम उस चीज को देख पाए. तो इसको मैंने कनेक्ट किया थ्रू अ वायर. तो होगा क्या भाई, तो जिंक विल गोइंग टू लूज एन इलेक्ट्रॉन. तो ये मान लेते हैं दीज आर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, जो मैंने डॉट बनाए हैं, दीज इलेक्ट्रॉन विल मूव थ्रू दिस वायर, और एज देयर इज मूवमेंट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन इज टेकिंग प्लेस, ये बल्ब ग्लो होना शुरू हो जाएगा क्योंकि मूवमेंट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन गिव्स इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. तो यहाँ पर ये इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आएंगे and you will going to get electrons in copper. This copper 2 ion will going to gain electrons which zinc is given, और वो कॉपर बनता रहेगा. अगेन वो थोड़ी सी बात की कहानी है, बट ये समझने वाली बात है कि यहाँ पर जो फ्लो ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हो रहा है, जो मूवमेंट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हो रहा है, वो हमने दो बीकर में, एक में जिंक रखा है, एक में कॉपर रखा है. ऑटोमेटिकली, मैं फिर से बोल रहा हूँ, एक टर्म और डिस्कस कर सकते हैं. दिस फ्लो ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, ये जो जिंक कॉपर को दे रहा है, ये ऑटोमेटिकली हो रहा है. मेरे को बैटरी लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि टॉपिक इज सर्टेन केमिकल रिएक्शंस कैन क्रिएट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. This is not a type wherein I have to add a battery to get electrons from one element and to push electrons to the other element. No, यहाँ पर electrons are moving on its own. जहाँ पर electrons अपने आप मूव करते हैं, उन रिएक्शन को हम कहते हैं spontaneous reactions. This will be, यहां पर ये रिएक्शन कैसी होगी, स्पॉन्टेनियस होगी. तो स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन के अंदर में यह आता है गैल्वेनिक सेल, जहां पर हमने इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट करना सीखा. आई गेस समझ में आया होगा कि व्हाट इज इलेक्ट्रोकेमिस्ट्री और हाउ सर्टेन रिएक्शंस कैन क्रिएट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बाय जस्ट मूवमेंट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, और बाय अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑक्सीडेशन एंड रिडक्शन रिएक्शन जिसमें इलेक्ट्रॉन्स का ट्रांसफरिंग मूवमेंट पॉसिबल है. तो आई गेस दिस इज व्हाट द introductory part of electrochemistry. If you think you have a doubt, if you think there are certain things which you didn't understood, let me know so that I'll repeat that part and I'll make you understand. Thank you so much.